Hello, everyone. Today we're going to explore two vital systems that keep our horses healthy and performing at the best. That is going to be the circulatory system and the respiratory system. So, these systems work together to ensure that every single part of a horse's body gets the oxygen it needs and that waste products are efficiently removed. So, let's dive in. We're going to start with the respiratory system. So, the purpose of the equine respiratory system is to bring air from the atmosphere and into the lungs in a cycle like pattern in order to supply the horse with oxygen. It is very similar to a human. Some of these main components would be the nostrils, the trachea, as you can see highlighted there in pink in that middle picture, and of course, the lungs. So, let's talk about how it works. So, you're going to inhale air from the atmosphere through the nostrils, which travel up the nasal passage, like you can see in those arrows there in that diagram. And then it goes into the trachea. From the trachea, in the lower half, the tube is split into two separate parts known as bronchi. The air travels through these bronchi into the bronchioles, which are located on the lungs. From the lungs, the air is distributed into the bloodstream where it reoxygenates the blood cells and removes carbon dioxide via the lungs' exhale. So it goes into the nostrils, down the trachea, into the bronchial tubes, and then into the lungs where it is dispersed into the blood through the red blood cells. And all that carbon dioxide from the rest of the body, once it is used up, comes back into the lungs and it will be dispersed through the nostrils. So horses differ a little bit from humans in the sense that they have massive lungs. Therefore, their ability to carry more oxygen is greater than ours, and their systems need to compensate for that size. Horses are also obligated in their nasal breathers, meaning that unlike humans, they cannot breathe from their mouths and rely solely on their nostrils for oxygen intake and outtake. Now let's look at the circulatory system. So, the purpose of the circulatory system is to deliver oxygen and nutrients from the air around it and from what it eats into the blood supply, and it excretes cellular waste from the body via the bloodstream. Some major parts of this would be heart, your blood vessels, the spleen, and the frog of the horse. So, let's dive into this. So the heart actually starts by pumping oxygenated blood to the organs throughout the body. We just learned that it gets that oxygenated blood from that respiratory system. And then deoxygenated blood, so blood without oxygen, is brought back to the heart and sent to the lungs to be reoxygenated. The blood carries oxygen, nutrients, and hormones throughout the body, while also acting as a cooling agent for the horse. So these blood vessels serve as the highways in which the blood travels and consists of both veins and arteries. The spleen removes any damaged red blood cells and replaces them with new blood cells, helping the horse with its stamina. But why do we have the frog in there, you might ask? So the frog is also called the second heart of the horse. If you hear that, that is what is referring to is this frog. So, the frog in your horse's hoof is part of your equine circulatory system. Every time your horse puts pressure on a hoof, the blood in the limbs is actually pushed back up into the horse's body. So, think of it as a natural blood circulator. So, as that horse steps down, it will kind of press just like a heart would and push it back up through those legs. That's why it's called the second heart. So, the circulatory system of the horse is very similar to that of the human, with the same components and purpose. However, we do not have a frog in our foot. The horse also has a massive heart size, so it needs extra compensation for the body. It also includes the addition of the frog, which of course we do not possess. So, thank you for watching about the equine circulatory and respiratory system, and I hope you enjoyed.